What's up, Wallet Monkeys? Welcome back to the channel. So today what we're going to talk about is what size pledge loan should you be getting? This screenshot that you're seeing in front of you sparked a huge conversation in our community, and I'm sure it did in this Facebook group where this guy posted it, because anytime you see a large, $100,000, $200,000 pledge loan, it sparks a lot of controversy. It sparks a lot of questions because what we have to question is, does this even work? Is this even worth it? Let's say we've got a young profile that we're not sure if we're in position to get a mortgage, get a HELOC, get a larger loan. Does going and plopping down $100,000 into a pledge loan, does that really actually help? That's what we're going to explore today. Let's dive into it. Okay, so you see here, this guy posted that he did a $100,000 pledge loan. The rate was 3.25%, 180 months, which is the max amount of months that you can get. That sparked a lot of questions. That also brought up another situation that happened back in 2022 where somebody put a $200,000 pledge loan up. Let's explore that a little more. Okay, so here's that. I don't know if you've seen this on the MyFICO forums, but yeah, $200,000 pledge loan. And the whole point of him doing this is that he wanted to see if this would help him build his young credit profile, and he wanted to get a HELOC. So he had a HELOC, I think, pending at the same time, and he had a bunch of other stuff going on. That's the actual issue with this. Like, if I can jump to the end here real quick with you and give you the conclusion, is that I don't actually know if any of this worked for this guy, because there was just way too many variables going on. This wasn't an isolated test. This wasn't a very good experiment at all. I have no idea, but let's go through it. So he was quoted 180 months at 3.25%. Then they came back with a rebuttal, 61 months at 2.25. He took it. Here's this. If you want to download this, if you've never seen 200,000 in a flagship checking and 350,000 in a savings account, you might want to download this and I don't know, print it out or something, put it on your vision board, because these are some pretty killer balances, right? And it's just not what you see every single day. We've got these two going, and then we've got the shared pledge loan right here. He's got a mortgage. So he's got platinum and cash rewards, so that's cool. And then a Home Squad application, the Home Squad section of Navy Fed is for mortgages and HELOCs. So he was trying to get HELOC at the time. And then when you fund a pledge loan, we've gone through this in detailed videos. You do it similar to any other transfer, or when you're making a payment to your credit cards or anything like that, right? This is what that screen looks like to do the transfer itself. So you're gonna move it over. You gotta have the money in your savings account before you even apply, and then you move it over from the savings account. Or they just take it from the savings account, rather. They apply it to the pledge loan, and then the whole point, by the way, of paying this stuff off 90 to 95% is it puts you in the lowest utilization percentile, so that it positively affects your credit profile, if it affects it at all. The thing we don't want to have is a huge installment loan on our report. We're not paid down on it, right? So I think by paying off 90 or 95%, it puts you in like the 8.9% utilization, which is the lowest next to zero in terms of how they rank this internally. That's why we do that. There's a bunch of details here. I'm not going to go through it all, but yeah, basically says that he also had a HELOC going at the same time that he was trying to get approved for. And then here's the most interesting thing, is he was doing a bunch of stuff around February and March. So we don't know if where this 657 dip came from. This could have came from all the other, sorcery he was trying to do at the time. And then, obviously he bumped back up to 738, which is an 81 point jump. So to those that aren't reading all the data, or to those that don't see what's going on here, is they would just look at this and be like, wow, 81 point jump on his score. I should do this. Please do not. That is not what this is saying at all. And again, like I said, there's not enough data for us to really even conclude that. So he ended up making it all the way up to 761 at the end of this whole little experiment, and then the thread got locked down, I believe. I just think that that's interesting. To somebody that's looking at this really, really quick, they're like, oh my God, that's a 100-point jump. I should do the same thing. I don't think that's the point of this. Actually, I want to open this question up to you guys. I've researched this quite a bit, and I see that some people are thinking that it's a flex just to do this. And so they're flexing to like Facebook groups and credit groups, I guess. Some think that it actually works because it shows that you're putting a large amount of money in the bank. I would argue that if I'm putting that same amount of money into the shared savings or just into my checking and letting it sit there, it's signaling the same thing to me, to the bank, that a pledge loan would do, because I'm able to just pay that off and get instant access to that pledge loan right away. So what benefit is that giving me in the eyes of the bank? This guy said that when he got approved for his HELOC, that the rep on the phone said that the pledge loan helped. And again, we don't have anything conclusive, so we're literally just taking the face value of the rep and the data that he's giving us, even though the data is massively skewed. That's why I'm not like content with just saying like, hey, this is a great strategy, this works. I leave the question to you. Do you agree that I would get the same benefit just setting it in my checking and savings account. Do you think that putting this 100,000 into a pledge loan is actually valuable, or 200,000 into a pledge loan? Are we doing this just for a flex? What is the purpose? And do you see the benefit of doing it? One more thing to note here is that if you've got 100,000 in liquid capital, there's so many other options you could do. And I would just argue that there's better moves to make and there's better plays to make. If you've got 100,000, 200,000 in capital, I just think there's better ways to use that. For example, we could just take that from bank to bank. We can go to Bank of America right now, get platinum status for the next 12 months, and probably load out 2-3 cards at $20,000 plus limits. Then we could go to PNC and do the same thing. We could go to all these different banks and do a similar hustle. Why would we attempt to lock that up? And I understand that you're gonna get 90 to 95% of it back, but why would we lock that up here right now in this vehicle that we're not even guaranteed to have a positive benefit from, when we can literally go and put it over here, like I said, into somewhere like Bank of America right now and get that positive benefit? Like, we know that to be true. We know it because it's on their website. We know it because they explicitly tell us. I guess I just don't really understand the logic in doing something like this. I would love to hear from those who have actually done bigger sized pledge loans like this. And of course, everyone else who's just got something that you want to weigh in on this, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Hey, you should subscribe. 60% of you are not subscribed yet, right there. Okay, bye.
Wild monkey.